Hello everyone, welcome back to Barney's Anniversary Month. We are now into the Lyrick Studios era of the Barney home videos. We are going to be taking a look at 3 videos today that kickstarted this era before Season 4 would air on television in 1997. So let's take a look, shall we? Starting with Camp Wannarunnaround, or Outdoor Adventure in the UK, or Barney's Outdoor Fun, released in 2003. Well, this is a good start to the Lyrick era. Hannah, Kim, and Chip were playing in the playground until Steven came in wearing a Forest Ranger uniform. After the noble Duke of York, Steven went to the treehouse to see if he could see a forest. After a visit from a forest ranger, he decided that he wants to be a forest ranger when he grows up, but he never visits a forest. So with a little bit of imagination, Barney brings Steven and his friends to a special summer camp called Camp Wannarunnaround.
Camp what? Wanna run around?
That's right, campers.
After singing the titular song itself, we get time-lapse as the kids cleaning up their rooms, and then they did some exercise. And then they went to the activity board to see what they want to do. Junior camp counselor BJ shows up, trying to take the boat to the lake, but they already had canoes and boats there, so they went to the lake where the kids and Barney are fishing and BJ rowing his canoe around the lake. And then after that, Barney teaches everyone of how to make a tent, leaving the gang to find some material to build a tent. Until Baby Bop came in after BJ found her blankie. The tent process is finished, and everyone is impressed. So Baby Bop made a puppy tent, and then magically out of nowhere, a puppy dashes out of the tent, and then they looked all around for the puppy before getting to play with it. After that, they decided to go on a nature hike and go over the 3 logs. After Steven had saw a squirrel and a raccoon, as well as keeping a pine cone, they are ready to eat, so they got their mess kits, but BJ misunderstood it and made a mess, so they picked up all of the paper, and they finally got to eat their snacks. Then Barney shows a national park on the adventure screen, using footage from Panorama International Productions. After that, mosquitoes are trying to bite them, so they got their things and ran away as fast as they could. After Steven is writing a letter to his parents, they gathered around the campfire, singing "This Is What It Means to Be a Friend," which made its debut here, and Bingo. After that, BJ tries to tell some scary stories, but Baby Bop is not gonna hear any of it.
La 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 la.
Instead of spooky stories, they carefully listen for the sounds at night. After lowering the flag and saying a reprise of Camp Wannarunnaround, BJ and Baby Bop went home, along with the dog now named Bingo, and Steven thanked Barney for bringing him into the forest of this special summer camp. Before I get to the goofs in this video, let's talk about the characters, and then I'll get into the facts. This is the first appearance of Hannah, Morgan, and Chip, and they would be carried over into Barney and Friends Season 4. As for the costume designs of Baby Bop and BJ, they remain the same, despite the mouth movements of BJ are less movable, and there are some scenes where it can be pretty awkward. Now onto the prototype Season 4 Barney design. The color of the suit appears pale in this iteration, complete with Barney's feet from Season 3. And then later in Barney's Adventure Bus, they would use the actual feet from Season 4. Also, the eyelids are pretty static, so Barney does not blink, and it is the first instance that this would happen in a few suits until Season 5 onwards. Now let's get into the facts. In the screener version of the video, it features different recordings for several of the Dino's lines, And the adventure screen is much different than the final product because it was a bit similar and it had a rainbow and a sun and a cloud around it. Okay, now let's get into the goofs. While this video is great, but what holds it back, at least to me, is the colossal amount of goofs. For example, during bingo, Barney's camping jacket becomes button and unbutton. The dialogue doesn't match the mouth movements in some cases. And the worst offender of all is when Baby Bop and BJ are leaving, a crew member can be seen holding the dog before he comes into Baby Bop's arms. You seriously could or could not do another take of this? What the absolute fudge happened here? So yeah, now you know that there are some cases where the editing process is so rushed at times. Overall, I think Camp Wannarunnaround is a great video. If the editing process was carefully put together, as well as a different take of Baby Bop and BJ leaving, then the editing would have been perfect, and it would have been a 10 out of 10. But as it is, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It is a great home video, don't get me wrong, but those goof errors had a lot to be desired. Barney's Adventure Bus. I guess Barney has his own magical bus now. Today is Saturday, and the kids can have some time to play together. After singing It's a Beautiful Day, they are pretending to be basically everyone, like a king and queen, a cowgirl, and a pizza maker. After singing The Land of Make-Believe, Barney wants to be a bus driver, and with some imaginary adventure, he turns the little people bus into his own bus. And then even Baby Bop and BJ joins in on the ride. Their first destination was a castle, where Robert and Christian pretended to be a king and queen, and they're feeling pretty gloomy because of their royal cat being stuck on top of the tower. So Sir Chip has to go up there and save the cat, but the cat decided to go down the tower at the last minute, right into the Queen's arms. Next, they went to Barney's Peppy Purple Pepperoni Pizzeria, where the kids make the pizza dough by using flour, water, stir the ingredients, and then knead it well, and then watch it rise. And then Chip tosses the dough into a nice circle, and Robert does the same, until...
Oh, there it is.
Everyone got the ingredients to make a delicious pizza. They rolled the dough, poured the tomato sauce, sprinkled all the cheese, and then put some random toppings such as pineapple, peanut butter, pepperoni, peppers,
And pickles.
which is something that only Shaggy and Scooby could make. After eating the pizza, they went on their way into the Rockin' Horse Ranch, where they're lassoing some rope, playing instruments, and Keisha gets to ride a real pony. And at last, their last destination is Barney's Super D-Duper Circus, where two kids were inside a Ellie the Elephant costume, singing about popcorn, and then Baby Bop walking on the tightrope, but on the ground level, because obviously it will be challenging for the dwarf actors to handle walking on a tightrope while inside the costumes. After singing the Baby Bop Hop, BJ wanted to play some musical instruments like a guitar, a drum, a cymbal, and bells, and so Barney let him have them, and they sung Our Friend BJ Had a Band. After that, they drove all the way back to the schoolyard, and everybody leaves after an amazing adventure, followed by Kristen's line,
And you were the best bus driver I've ever had, Barney.
I gotta say, Barney's Adventure Bus is great and probably my favorite in terms of the Kickstarter videos of this era. Barney's bus is amazing, the sets are great, and the animated backgrounds from DNA Productions is pretty good. And once again, they'll go on to do some movies and TV shows such as Olive, The Other Reindeer, and Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, just to name a few, before the company's closure. I also enjoyed the music too. This is David Bernard Wolf's first video composing the music just right after the CD albums, and I gotta say, he is pretty good, giving a little bit of a Bob Singleton vibe and a little bit of Joseph Phillips, and I wish we could have gotten more with him. Even when Wolf had a desire to return as a musical director for the relaunch, but he never got the position. It would be cool if he did get the role. Bernard continued to be the music director for the Barney franchise in CD albums and videos until 2002. I know that some people don't like his music, but to me, I think that he is criminally underrated and deserves some recognition than what we got with him. Now on to the kids. This marks Robert and Keisha's debut, and they would be carried over into the television series, minus a photo cameo from Robert in Sharing is Caring from Season 8. This is the first video to use the Lyrick Studios logo, and of course, the weirdest thing of all is Ruben Curda voiced Barney in the Spanish dub, and not Josie Carlos Morando, because this video was never dubbed in Spanish until 2001, and I had no idea why that they didn't do this much earlier. Did people from Latin America skip this out? Anyway, I think Barney's Adventure Bus is a great home video with some funny moments, catchy songs, and going on adventures on Barney's bus. So for that, I will have to give Barney's Adventure Bus a solid 10 out of 10. Barney's Good Day, Good Night. Well, here we are, folks. The final video of 1997. Before Season 4 aired. We got some beautiful shots with the butterfly flying through the flowers and landing on Barney's hand. The kids arrived to play and saw the butterfly, and they sang 4 Little Butterflies, and then they played a game of shadow tag. They were having fun until you know the rest.
That's not my shadow. Then whose is it?
I believe that's my shadow.
After singing Mr. Sun, they decided to make sun visors with the help of the Barney bag, and this is the last time where it was featured in a home video. After making sun visors, as well as listening to the things around them, and being flowers, minus the growing song afterwards, Robert tells Barney that he wishes that he could stay up all night long, so they got themselves ready for bed while singing Getting Ready for Bed, and this is the only usage of the song in the franchise. After they have been tucked in and getting ready for bed, they are not feeling sleepy, so Barney tells the story of just one more thing about a girl named Sarah who wanted one more thing before she goes to sleep. With the help of the 3 Sandmen and even her grandfather, they figured out the one thing that she really needed, and that would be a good night kiss. This story appeared in the Bedtime with Barney radio show, and then it was told in the audio release of Storytime with Barney. I'm just putting this fact just to let you know. After the story, they're still not feeling sleepy, so Barney sung a Brahma's lullaby, but they're still not sleepy. So Barney brings out his terrific special night timer, which it can turn to day into night. They went outside and heard some nocturnal animals after listening to the nighttime, and then they went to the treehouse to see what was the noise, and it turns out it was just a squirrel. After singing Are You Sleeping?, the squirrel was surprised, and Robert and Kristen went up to the treehouse lookout to see the moon and stars. The treehouse is different in the nighttime, and that made Ashley a little scared. Then Steven tries to scare everyone by being a ghost, but Barney steps on the sheet and he knows that it's him. I mean, that sheet isn't fooling anyone.
Steven! Guess I didn't scare anybody, did I?
They went outside and saw some beautiful fireflies and then looked at the moon, and some people thought there was a man in the moon, but it's fun to pretend, so they sung Aiken Drum. After that, they saw some constellations, so Barney holds up the ladle, or Big Dipper, up into the air to make, well, a Big Dipper. After looking all of the stars, the sun begins to rise. The animals are waking up, including the squirrel, and everything went back to normal, and they had a great time on what it would be like to stay up all night. This was the final video to use the Bob Singleton arrangement of the iconic theme song. This rendition of I Love You would later be used in Barney in Outer Space, and this video was released on the same day where Is Everybody Happy aired during Season 4's run. I know that I talked about the first Season 4 Barney costume in my review of Season 4, but I'll try to keep it brief here. The blinking mechanism is present, despite the eyes are not sunken in. Instead of the eyes being a lighter shade of purple, it was covered in fleece and it gives him a little bit of a realistic appearance. Also, Barney's eyes are able to move and bobble left and right, pretty wildly. And they went crazy on those eyes, man. And this happens around 90%, not only in this video, but also the first day of school, the first installment of Season 4. I'm proud to say that this had the least errors. Sure, there was the bit right there where they forgot to add in the fade where Barney is skipping, as well as the end line from Barney, but at the very least, this one is the least rushed. And keep in mind, those 3 videos were in production around December, January, and February of 1996 and 1997, respectively. Overall, Barney's Good Day, Good Night is a pretty good home video. The visual effects are pretty good, and the bits of animation on Aiken Drum's face is decent. The music from Bob Singleton is amazing as always, chef's kiss, and the songs are beautiful to listen to, where one of them made their debuts or their only usage in this video. So overall, I will give Barney's Good Day, Good Night a solid 10 out of 10. Well, that's the Lyrick Studios Barney home videos from 1997. Next time, we will be diving into the Barney home videos from 1998. So stay tuned and keep a lookout for that. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know what are your thoughts on the 97 videos, and which one is your favorite from that time period. This is Dre Edwards, and we'll keep the Barney legacy alive as we go on. I'll see you next time.